Yo, what's going on, guys? Your boy Rizu here, and welcome to Modern Warfare 2019. And today we're going to be talking about why I think Verdansk is not going to save Warzone. It will not be the same experience. Now, obviously, that is a very obvious first reason, because let's think about it real quick. In this current state, I think Black Ops 6 integration is probably the worst COD integration we had since Cold War. With Cold War, obviously, the beginning of the integration with Warzone, it was pretty bad. The weapons were unbalanced and legit. All the weapons were just horribly broken. At least with Cold War's integration, it actually got better and better throughout the time. But with the Black Ops 6 integration, it's actually getting worse and worse for some reason. But anyways, now let's talk about the experiences that we're gonna have now to what we had back in 2020. Now, here's the thing. The 2020 version of Verdansk was obviously the biggest year for Call of Duty, especially because before Verdansk was actually Verdansk, we actually had Verdansk as playable ground war maps. Now, I wish I could show you guys in game, but obviously, you know, for some reason, not a lot of people are actually playing Modern Warfare 2019, which I'm really surprised actually. I really can't show you what Verdansk actually looks like, but anyways, right when Verdansk was released to the public, that's when a lot of people actually had fun. And you know, because during the time, there's nothing with like slide canceling or just YY or reload canceling so fast. There was nothing sort of like that. Like, it was, the gameplay was like this, where it was just, you know, running around like mindless fucking chicken, just like that. And he's dead. But yeah, that's how the gameplay was back in Modern Warfare 2019 and Warzone. No one made up metas. No one made like fucking builds for the game. It was just pure. It was just a bunch of pure stupidness and a lot of learning that we actually had during the time. Not only that, since it was COVID season, which like I said, COVID played a big role. Oh, another claymore. But yeah, COVID played like a really big role in this game, especially since there was really not much going on during the time. Like obviously we had, you know, Fortnite popping off during the time. But we're being real here. Call of Duty is still such a big name to the point where a free-to-play game sounded so amazing since COD has never gone free-to-play before. And now that COD has went free-to-play for the first time back in 2020, the numbers were increasingly big, and Activision did not expect Warzone to actually succeed. You gotta remember that Activision was actually planning on making Blackout 2 because Cold War pretty much had so many assets of, you know, Blackout. And what the fuck? It had so many assets of Blackout that was in Cold War, but never actually made it to the broad daylight because legit, they did not know that Warzone was actually going to succeed. And here we are. Warzone is still alive in 2025, which is just insane. But yeah, we're never going to have that same experience that we had with Verdansk in 2025. It's just impossible. Another thing too is, of course, we have to talk about the anti-cheat. The anti-cheat is legit on its worst in this game, or Black Ops 6. I mean, not in Modern Warfare 2019, but in Black Ops 6. Cheaters are absolutely everywhere and destroying the game. There's some cheaters that are actually, you know, pretty cool. Like for example, we did a hide and seek not too long ago on dealership and it was outside the map. Now, those are the type of cool cheats that we want. Not the ones that actually just decide to, you know, use them to actually piss people off and climb up the ranks on rank play. It's just absolutely stupid. Those are the cheaters that deserve to go to fucking bans all over the place. I want them banned. But no, instead they actually decide to ban the innocent players instead of the real cheaters, which is just absolutely stupid. That's why I need Activision to actually, you know, either A, give up on this fucking anti-cheat that we have, the Ricochet anti-cheat, that's what it's called, and actually invest on a real anti-cheat, or Activision needs to put up their big boy pants and actually fix the anti-cheat, because legit, if this anti-cheat does fail again, I can promise you right now that Warzone will absolutely die. The next reason, I'm gonna have to say the stability issues. I think the stability of this game is absolutely horrible, bro. What the fuck am I playing, bro? Like, what is this? Okay, so that somehow headshots me, like what? But they absolutely need to fix the stability of the game because legit, Black Ops 6 is a very inconsistent game when it comes to like stability issues and internet connection. And for some reason, it's at its worst in that game instead of like Vanguard, which is absolutely insane. Since Call of Duty is now a unified engine, like it's in the COD HQ now, there is bound to be a lot of problems in that engine because of how many Call of Duty games are actually in that COD HQ. I will never understand why they actually went with the COD HQ idea because legit, it just brings more problems to the game than actual solutions to the game as well. Like for example, I think it was like in Black Ops 6's first season, something happened to Modern Warfare 3. I'm not sure what they did, but for some reason in Modern Warfare 3, there was actually a problem of the game and they actually fixed it. But the thing is here is in the Warzone side, or at least in the Black Ops 6 Warzone side, the audio got fucked up. The colors and the lighting was absolutely horrible. I remember it so well too. Now, I wish I actually had a gameplay of that, but goddamn, bro. When Rebirth came back to Warzone, for some reason, the lighting was just absolutely horrible. And it caused so many stability issues to the point where they actually took out Rebirth and decided to actually, fix the game until eventually they put it back in the game again. But no, that wasn't even the only thing. The audio was absolutely horrible as well, which once again, it caused Activision to actually, pull back Rebirth again and actually fix the audio issues that the game had. Which is why I think, like, they should just go back to the way it was, where they have their separate Call of Duty game and of course they separate it from the Warzone side and just do that. Or if not, just do Warzone as its own application. It just make more content specifically for Warzone only, which once again, I don't know why they're not doing that. People are expecting Verdansk to be the same thing as the one from 2020. I am sorry to tell you this, but it just will not be the same. I'm sorry, it won't. So don't expect to actually see that 2020 Verdansk is going to be coming back to 2025. It's never gonna happen. Never. Not only that, like, if the map was actually not that great either, because legit, back when the OG Verdansk came out, there was legit only one way to get all the way to the roof. There was like no other way to get up there besides either the zip lines or the stairways. The map structure was absolutely horrible. I will never understand why people think that the map structure of Verdansk was an absolute W. I will never agree with that. It's a horrible map layout. I will never agree that Verdansk is actually a good map, solely because the original map layout was absolutely horrible and it was catered to campers, which, by the way, this game right here, Modern Warfare 2019, it was catered to campers. And it was the same thing with Warzone. It was catered to campers, not for rushers. And the only way they can actually fix Verdansk is by adding more, more ways to get to the roof, more ways to navigate the map. That way it can still be fresh. But like I said, I still don't think that Verdansk is not going to save, it's not going to save Warzone. It really isn't. But it will benefit the multiplayer and of course the third mode. Maybe because that they can finally shift their focus from battle royale free-to-play shit to the multiplayer, which, by the way, there is probably a good chance that, what the fuck? What are you fucking kidding me, bro? And then there's a guy right here, of course. What the fuck? And he just plays another one. Okay, that's incredible. That really is. Another one? Okay, what the fuck am I looking at, bro? But anyways, as I was saying, multiplayer and zombies going free to play does sound like a pretty big W and a pretty big possible chance it can happen because of the way that Warzone actually succeeded in free to play. Now, the reason why I think Call of Duty's multiplayer will actually succeed is because Call of Duty is a known brand. Going free to play for its multiplayer and zombies will definitely benefit Activision more than anything that they know. But at least they know that they're actually going to be focusing more on the multiplayer instead of the stupid fucking battle royale that we had throughout the years. Not only that, like, they can actually make some quality zombies, and hell, we can possibly even see a Zombies Chronicles 2, which is obviously it's kind of impossible right now because of the the way that Activision is actually doing their stuff right now. There is still a good chance that we might see multiplayer and zombies go free to play at some point in the future. There's already rumors that if Warzone actually fails in Black Ops 6's Warzone integration with Verdansk, then there's not going to be a Warzone 4 or whatever Warzone number there is, which, like I said, it could be a good thing for the Call of Duty franchise, because legit, Warzone has always been a parasite to this game. Like, it always has and it always will be. The fact that fucking Warzone was the center of the attention of all these years, it's just mind-boggling, and the fact that it actually ruins the multiplayer experience and the zombies experience as well. All that shit that Warzone has, like armor plates and buyable stations and loadouts, just bleeds all the way down to fucking zombies and multiplayer, which is no. Armor plates does not belong in zombies. I will say that right now. It will never belong to zombies, and it never has, never will. Armor plates in multiplayer should not exist either, because legit, it creates a lot of problems, especially in hardcore. Which is why I think it's a good thing that if Warzone does fail, then we can finally see a more healthy multiplayer side and a more healthy zombie side. And obviously with the campaign, like, they can make that payable, because legit, and I think campaign should definitely be a viable option, because that's the one that to take most time with, especially, coming up with a story, Of course, we have the missions and, you know, how the ending is going to go through. All that stuff. Like, obviously, it should be, like, a buyable thing for the side. But everything else, like multiplayer and zombies, should be free to play. But legit, they should still continue with the whole season. Because I definitely do think that the seasons are a whole lot better than paid DLCs. Because legit, they can still make, like, these mini events just like COD Mobile. Which, by the way, why haven't they done, like, a COD Mobile type of game in this game? Or in Call of Duty in general, in, like, PC and console? It's mind-boggling because legit, they can do so much with free-to-play games like that, because COD Mobile just proves to you that multiplayer and zombies does work in the free-to-play route. So if they can do it in COD Mobile, why not bring that type of side that COD Mobile has and bring it to the PC and console version? But yeah, honestly, I do think that Verdansk is definitely not going to save Warzone at all. I think it's going to fail miserably, if I'm being honest with you. It's going to be popular for like maybe a week or so, and after that, it's just going to plummet down. Like legit, it will plummet down. Trust me, it will. But I'm going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait and see if Verdansk is actually going to, you know, improve anything for the game. But other than that, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. But yeah, it's your boy Rizu, and I'll see you guys later with another video. Adios.
Yeah.